The 2024-25 schedule has been released for the Chicago Bulls. We now know the matchups. What are some of the key things to look out for? What are the most important dates? We're going to talk about it all and more. But first, we got to play that intro.
Tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. So, coming into it, man, what is the status of the Chicago Bulls season? Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Our season starts off. So, October 23rd against the New Orleans Pelicans on the road. The Bulls are actually starting off their season with a 2-game road stretch. We play Wednesday the 23rd and Friday the 25th against the Pelicans and the Milwaukee Bucks, respectively. Then we get into one of the first revenge games on the schedule for the Chicago Bulls when they take on the OKC Thunder, Josh Giddey's former team, in our first home game, October 26th, against the Thunder. This is going to be a game that a lot of people are going to look to watch to see how Shai Gilgeous-Alexander cooks up Josh Giddey. And a lot of Bulls fans are going to be using this game to kind of weigh the value of Josh Giddey or not in this game. That's just kind of what comes of it and what people are going to do. But overall, a solid 3 games to start it. When you look at it, we're starting the game against all 3 teams that have playoff aspirations. And then when you really look into the first 5 games for the Chicago Bulls, really tough 5 games. We've got the Pelicans, the Bucks, the Thunder, the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Orlando Magic to start off our season next year. And that's going to be a pretty tough stretch for the Chicago Bulls. It's not all on the road, but a pretty tough stretch for the Bulls. And out of our first 5 games, we play 1 game at home in those first 5. No, 2 games at home, those first 5 games. I'm mistaken there. So the Bulls start off being road warriors again. The Bulls have 5 nationally televised games on the schedule this season. Considering the Bulls in a rebuild, things like that, it's not too surprising. November 7th against the Minnesota Timberwolves on NBA TV. November 20th against the Milwaukee Bucks on ESPN. November 23rd against the Memphis Grizzlies on NBA TV. And January 17th against Charlotte on ESPN. And then our last nationally televised game is April 6th against Charlotte, again on NBA TV. If you look at that, we have 2 games airing on ESPN and 3 games on NBA TV next year. Some people don't even consider NBA TV being nationally televised since you have to have a subscription to be able to watch it. But the Bulls didn't get a lot of luck when it came down to it. When it comes down to the nationally televised games, so that's what it comes down to. Right now, the Bulls as well per FanDuel, they have a win projection of 27 wins. So that's the win projection for the Bulls. If you're a betting man, if you think the Bulls are going to be over that, 27 wins predicted for the Chicago Bulls next season. We'll see how that comes along for the Bulls. I would love to be able to say that seems like it's on the low end. I would love to be able to say that. But in reality, like, it's just so much unknown about who the Chicago Bulls team is going to be next season that I can't even be mad at the Bulls, predictions or the betting odds being that low for the Chicago Bulls. I just can't. I wish I could make the argument for it. I don't think let me not say that. I have the Bulls winning between 30 and 35 games personally. 27 seems a bit low to me, but considering you got a new player in Josh Giddey who's still going to try to learn this team, things like that, you can see why that could possibly play into that for the Bulls. So that's what it comes down to. But overall, looking at the schedule, it is what it is when it comes down to it, right? Like, I didn't expect the Bulls to have a lot of nationally televised games. There are quite a bit of back-to-backs in here for the Chicago Bulls. They're not going to quite lead the league in back-to-backs. They were high up there in that list last year. That kind of is what it is at this point. But the only 5 nationally televised games, that means that Bulls fans, if you want to see and support this team, that means that you guys are going to have to basically subscribe to NBA TV, especially if you're not inside the city of Chicago. So look out for that one. But I mean, overall, when you look at it, when it comes down to it, man, the start of the season kind of is what it is when it comes down to that. Our home opener, we get to face off against Alex Caruso and the OKC Thunder. Kind of is what it is for that. DeMar DeRozan will come back to the United Center January 12th as well with the Sacramento Kings. So look out for that one. When do we face Philly first in there? When is Andre Drummond coming back with Philly? Let me take a look at that real quick. We play December 8th, which is my birthday weekend. Not my birthday. My birthday's on a Thursday this year, but December 8th, we face off against the Philadelphia 76ers at home. So take that for what you will. But overall, it's an interesting schedule, man. It's an interesting schedule. Um, yeah. I mean, it's going to be rough for the Chicago Bulls when it comes down to it, man. The first month of the season is a doozy for the Bulls. So in the first month, we face the Pelicans, the Bucks, the Thunder, the Grizzlies, the Magic, Brooklyn Nets. I'm not worried about. The Jazz could be a tough matchup for us. Dallas, Minnesota, Atlanta, Cleveland, New York, Cleveland, Houston, Detroit, and Milwaukee, Atlanta, Memphis. Hey, from October 23rd to November 23rd, we're probably going to know exactly who this Chicago Bulls team is. That's the first 16 games of the season. Let's repeat that. The first 16 games of the season. The Pelicans, the Bucks, the OKC Thunder, the Grizzlies, the Magic, the Nets, the Jazz, the Mavericks again, the Timberwolves, Atlanta, the Cavs, the Knicks, the Cavs again, the Rockets, Detroit, Milwaukee, Atlanta, Memphis again. Jesus. We're going to know a lot about this team at that point in time. Now, the first month of the season can start off a bit rocky, especially for a new team, and they, of course, can be better after that. But this is going to be a nice schedule to start off to really see how the Bulls match up. For those Bulls fans that seem to think that this Bulls team is going to somehow win 40-plus games, which is still a ridiculous thing to me, we'll see what happens with that. It is what it is, man. I don't know how I feel about it, but yeah. The Bulls also, we play the Boston Celtics 3 times in 7 games between November 29th to December 21st, which is crazy. The last 2 games of that will be in Chicago. We then face off against the Pistons in February. That's Modest Musillas versus Ron Holland, his buddy there. And the Bulls have a 6-game Western Conference road trip in March, which will face in March Houston, Utah, Phoenix, Sacramento, the Lakers, and the Denver Nuggets during that stretch. Woo! Man, hey, listen. Y'all still thinking that the Chicago Bulls team may not keep their pick? Y'all still think that? Y'all still think the Bulls aren't going to keep their top 10 protected pick? I don't know. Looking at this schedule, man, I have no idea. Looking at this schedule, Rob says it's a pretty dope. Oh yeah, the schedule release video was really dope. It was really dope. I don't think I'll get a copyright strike for showing it. Do I want to take that chance? You know what? F it. If it happens, I ain't never got a strike before. One ain't gonna stop the channel. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna watch the schedule release video as a family. Let me go ahead and get that queued up. Bear with me a second. All right, bet. IO. Listen, I don't know if I've ever really felt like the Bulls have done a schedule release video like amazing or anything, but that's a pretty cool schedule release video. Like I said, it's not like the Bears. The Bears had a great schedule release video. That's cool though. That's cool. Enough tough schedule to start and on the road, no surprise. Just means a better shot to keep the pick. Yeah, I mean, listen, between that road stretch to start the season, the 6-game road stretch, in March, right, where we faced off against the Western Conference teams, that's going to be tough, man. But yeah. But the past 3 years, they have hit the over on wins. Yeah, they have hit the over on wins. That is a good point there. Good point there. King Haize, let's go, bro. You think we need more shooters? I mean, you can always use more shooting. First month we're getting smashed. You said it right. I mean, yeah, bro. Like that first month of the season, like that's gonna tell us everything that we need to know, I think. Yeah, like so people who still have high hopes for it, we'll see. Not gonna lie, I see he's winning at least 40 games. You're running a lot of teams off the court. Hey, bro. I mean, I wish I had the type of za you smoking, my boy. Shout out to my little brother Bulls Daily, though. All love, bro. By the way, Bulls Daily, I actually got something I need you to do for me. Hit me up on IG. I'm looking forward to the season. I'll take a bunch of youngsters over proven failures any day. I mean, that is look, and I've said this before, Australians are free, is that winning 30 games with a young team that's just trying to figure it out is a lot different than winning 39 games with veterans who are supposed to be at the peak of their career. It's a lot different of an outlook on it. A lot of teams early this season, but a better chance to keep our pick. And that's the way I'm looking at it too. Like, it's not the worst thing, man. Bulls keeping their pick. Hopefully they get number one. I mean, listen, even if they don't, it's a lot of quality players that the Bulls can draft in there. I saw Levine for Austin Reeves. I mean, that was a rumor, so that's not like not like it was somebody who was speculating like a possible trade. It's not like a thing. Future fans express. See, look, listen, y'all. It's funny because we got a hater on Bull Central that said, hey, why ain't y'all got no sponsors yet? And then we just announced the sponsorship with DraftKings on the watch party. But keep that in mind. But look at the text message that I just got. I don't know if my camera's going to focus in on it. Never mind. I just waved the. So somebody, I think FanDuel just reached out to promote on the podcast. So listen, that was live on air. I wish I could show y'all the text messages, but I wiped the notification away. So there you go on that one. The Bulls, they made the Bulls look like Creighton dog. Why? I don't know, bro. We got ESPN game and the NBA TV game. We got 2 ESPN games and 3 NBA TV games. Yep. Smoking that loud show. That's hilarious. OKC has rights to Phillies pick next year. Top 6 protected in Miami, which I think top 14 protected. Why are we talking about OKC's picks? I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Korver left the front office to be a coach here in Chicago. I don't know about that one. So Miami is a question mark whether they're going to try to keep their pick. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't think Miami's going to try to keep their pick. I don't. That's not really what you see from Miami and Heat culture, right? Like they aren't typically a team that like they're going to try to win, and especially with having Bam there and the new deal they signed Bam to and things like that. I don't see them trying to keep their pick at all. I see now if they keep their pick, I'm not saying that they're going to be mad at it, but yeah. Future fans has expressed interest in your podcast. Oh yeah. Yep. Get that bread. Get that bread. You deserve sponsors. Hey, listen, I guys doing this, and this isn't hyperbole. This isn't just to front run or anything like that. Getting to do this for a living almost is well worth it. And I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. Like, yeah, I want sponsors. I'm never going to stop the growth of the channel or anything like that. But I am truly doing what I love for a living. Like covering the Bulls, covering the Bears, covering the Sky. Like if anybody could ask me what my dream job would be, other than being a pimp, that would be it. That would have been it. Like, so, that is what it is, man. Congratulations on the sponsorships. Appreciate that. Hating on young brothers making great content is sad. I mean, listen, it is what it is, man. Also, if there was any OKC AC trade draft capital this year, it could have been either of those two. That's a good point as well there, Rob. That's a good point, brother. But yeah, overall, man, like I said, solid schedule release video. It's going to be tough ahead for the Bulls. And I think it's going to be extremely tough season for the Chicago Bulls. That's just my personal opinion. I know some people really do think that this team has the upside of winning like 40 games. I don't necessarily see that. FanDuel has us pegged to win 27 and a half games. Bleacher Report predicted us to go 30 and 52. And then I think we got another prediction so far as well. Where did that go? There was another prediction. I don't remember what the outlet was, but they predicted us to win 38 games. So, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it's going to be where it's going to be, man. How many away from 20K? We are, let's see. Where are we away from 20K? Let's see. We are right now 56 subscribers away from 20K. 56 subscribers away from 20K. That's crazy. That's crazy. Listen, keep in mind, Our 3rd-year anniversary was just yesterday. I didn't even think about it. I've been so locked in. I let our 3rd-year anniversary go without even mentioning it. So take that for what you will. But I was so locked in for that. Our 3rd-year anniversary went away. Keep in mind, you can go back. I think it was the 5th episode of this podcast. I literally said, hey, if we get 20,000 subscribers in 5 years, I'll be happy. Look at where we are, man. Through nothing but passion and love for this team. That's the only thing that got us here, man. That's the only thing that got us here. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel, man. I love you guys so much for everything you do. But yeah, the schedule release, just a quick video. I'll break it down more in full. We'll get into back-to-backs, things like that tomorrow. Make sure you guys stay tuned in for that as well. I love you guys. You can hit the subscribe button. You can follow us at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. You already know what